Ladies and gentlemen, friends, дорогие друзья, welcome and добро пожаловать to this unique session on Central Asia, old tradition, new ways, old traditions, and trade policy perspectives. My name is Dmitry Grozobinski. I'm the Executive Director of Geneva Trade Platform, which is Bring New Geneva Trade Week. A core part of our mission is to elevate voices and to bring into the trade policy conversation new faces and new voices that sometimes struggle to break through here in Geneva. And I think today's session is a fantastic example of practices and crafts and insights from a region that isn't as represented in Geneva as it should be, and that has a lot to teach us all. We apologize for the slight delay in starting, and I won't prolong it any further by continuing to talk, except to welcome you all and introduce Aisalu, our moderator and host of proceedings for the day. Aisalu, please, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank Geneva Trade Platform and UNECE for giving us the platform and giving us the opportunity to show the beauty of Central Asian crafts and handicraft sector and discuss it globally. And for the opening remarks, I would like to give the space to Dmitry Mariasin, the Deputy Executive Secretary of United Nations Economic Commission for Europe. Please.
Thank you very much. I'm Dmitry. I'm the #2 at the UN Economic Commission for Europe. We work in 56 countries of the pan-European region to advance regional cooperation through better norms and standards and getting countries together to solve common problems. So this is an example of what we can do with partners, and I'm very pleased to welcome you to this webinar. I know it's a very busy time in Geneva, and for those who are not able to join us right now, we hope that you can look the materials up at the Geneva Trade Platform later. So let me make just a few points of about what we are here today. First, this webinar highlights the unique potential of Central Asia. As Dmitry already mentioned, it's less known in Geneva perhaps, and it should be more known. We think Central Asia is a unique crossroads of cultures and a region well suited to be a connector and a platform for regional cooperation between East and West, North and South. Trade is an important element of that. For us at UNECE, we have always recognized Central Asia as a very special sub-region. We have created, together with our partners at the UN Economic Commission for Asia and the Pacific and several countries in the region, what we call a special program for the economies of Central Asia, SPECA, which is a vibrant platform for policy discussion, norm setting, and regional collaboration amongst the Central Asian states, Afghanistan and Azerbaijan. We help countries realize their potential through this platform, and we really hope that today's webinar will be one more step in helping recognize that potential, but also to celebrate the beautiful culture of the region, to celebrate its traditions, and look at how we can link trade, traditions, and sustainable development objectives going forward. Second, today's event is not just about the big picture and the large trade flows. It's also about very specific people who make this happen. Micro, small, and medium enterprises in Central Asia. These enterprises contribute a significant share of the economies in the pan-European region, and in some countries actually account for up to 90% of all registered enterprises. We think small and medium enterprises, including micro enterprises, are a future of a sustainable economy, a future with jobs, a future with decent jobs, and where we help connect local businesses to global value chains through platforms like this. And by the way, the crafts discussed and presented today are mostly produced by small and medium enterprises. Third, we cannot have a discussion these days and not mention the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic has really brought to light the challenges faced by micro, small, and medium enterprises around the world, including in this region. They are very vulnerable to shocks like this. They really need to struggle with their productive capacities, with market access, with the increase of debt burden, and of course, just very practically, with the deteriorating living conditions of owners. So how can you invest in expanding a business or finding a new market when you need to make sure you can make your living on a day-to-day basis? So we're very aware of these issues, and because of that, together with other partners in the UN family, we at UN Economic Commission for Europe launched a special program called Towards Post-COVID-19 Resurgence of the Micro, Small, and Medium sector. It's part of a global UN Development Account project, but our part is focused on the countries, on the program countries of the Pan-European region, and we will continue working with them to harness the power of entrepreneurs to help sustainable recovery from COVID-19. This initiative is part of this. Finally, we wanted to make this more than just another panel on trade policy and offer the audience an opportunity to see in practice what we're talking about and to connect with the beautiful arts and crafts and with concrete people on the ground that are creating them. Myself, having just recently joined the UN Economic Commission for Europe here in Geneva, I had worked in the past in the field, in the Caucasus, where I had an opportunity to interact quite a lot with people in the villages, in small towns who create arts and crafts and make a living with it. And I'm really delighted that we can now connect with friends and colleagues in Central Asia who will show us what they're doing. For example, a traditional process of resist dyeing and weaving silk from Uzbekistan, a traditional embroidery from Tajikistan, and traditional crafts such as silk and wool felting from Kyrgyzstan, among others. So, to conclude, a warm welcome from UNECE. Very glad to have with us representatives of the governmental, academic, expert business circles and civil society, and amongst them, the small and medium enterprises from Central Asia. We would like to thank the Geneva Trade Platform for supporting us in this event, for being such a great partner, and of course, our speakers and the audience. Looking forward to a great discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's the best introduction we could have even had, and it's indeed the center of artisanal production, of the people that are producing, of the women that are working in this field, of all the micro enterprises. It's supporting all of these communities. It brings such a big social and economic impact to the region that we can't even imagine. Having great speakers today will allow us to have a little bit more understanding about the Central Asian crafts. And just to say that while the whole world is going towards the Sustainable Development Goals, if we look at the traditional ways of doing crafts, they are sustainable by definition. So by supporting the traditional crafts, we are just going forward towards our SDGs. I'm happy to share with you our structure for today. We have great speakers from Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, from Tajikistan and Uzbekistan. They are absolutely amazing people that are working in the field. They are representatives of trade development centers, the social activists, artisans themselves, and the founders of organizations and associations. So the audience, if you have any questions, you have a little box in the bottom which says question and answer box. You can ask your questions. We will address them at the end of the session. So please welcome our first speakers, Nurlan Kulbatyrov, the Deputy General Director of CASTRADE, Center for Trade Policy Development, and Gulmira Kujagalieva, Senior Expert of CASTRADE, Center for Trade Policy Development from Kazakhstan. The floor is yours.
Good afternoon, dear participants, dear guests. Good afternoon, Asim. First of all, allow me to thank the organizers for the opportunity to speak at today's session. I am very pleased. The region of Central Asia is currently in a stage of the great transformation, the trade and economic modernization. Processes of connectivity and regionalization intensify in the region. And today I want to start with general portrait in the region. Central Asia is a dynamically developing with a growing population of 76 million, of which 60% are young people. And the combined growth of the region's economies this year is expected to be around 4.7%, which is significantly higher than the world average. The countries understand importance of regional integration. Consultative meetings of the heads of Central Asian states have been operating since 2018. And countries have launched large cross-country initiatives. The most significant is perhaps the construction of Central Asia International Center for Trade and Economic Cooperation on the border of Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan. The region is under the close focus of international organizations. Ready for Trade Central Asia Initiative of International Trade Center, Competitiveness, Trade and Jobs Activity in Central Asia project of USAID, and the Facilitating Cross-Border Trade in Central Asia program of GIZ. Projects are primarily aimed at the development of the private sector and support of self-employed, with a focus providing equal opportunities for women and vulnerable groups. The global goal of the projects is to enhance intra-regional trade and trade facilitation procedures. Kazakhstan was one of the first countries in the region to begin the processes of nationalizing SDGs. The SDG principles and as recipients, the SPECA principles are reflected in the recently adopted concept for trade development of Kazakhstan until 2025. After analyzing the 20 SPECA principles of sustainable trade, we came of conclusions that today Kazakhstan fully implemented at the national level 50% of the principles. About 40% of principles are partially implemented and require additional implementation measures. And one of the remaining 10% we have to work more active. I believe that all countries of the region should calibrate their position against SPECA principles. Such assessment will allow us to analyze weak points of the region, find solutions, and share knowledge where necessary. This year, Kazakhstan also formed an expert council on the carbon-based policy in trade, and we will welcome international experts to share their view and remarks. Lastly, with regards to today's session, I wanted to mention the state initiative on the establishment of a separate program on creative industries development. The program provides support and incentives for artisans and other representatives of the creative industry through regional creative hubs. The slide shows the key reasons of the program. I believe that these problems are relevant for all countries of our region. Now, my colleague Gulmira will tell about today's tool of Castrate for supporting companies, including artisans.
Thank you, Nurlan. And good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for inviting us. It is a pleasure to be here. In my part of the presentation, I will briefly tell you about state support measures for entrepreneurs and exporters provided by Castrate, our organization. We are a state-owned institution for trade development in Kazakhstan. The government of Kazakhstan now pays special attention to the development of non-resource exports, and the measures described here are the tools we use for promoting goods and services to foreign markets. First program is the Castrate Accelerator program. It is a practice-oriented program for export-oriented enterprises. We provide a deep and comprehensive analysis of foreign markets, including analysis of trade barriers. Second program is Alibaba program. On an annual basis, we select a pool of local companies that are provided with a multiplier account on the Alibaba platform. And selected companies are also provided with service support when it comes to account creation and verification on the platform, and with consulting support on emerging issues. Thirdly, we assist companies in participating in trade shows and exhibitions. This includes presentation of goods and services of Kazakhstan's manufacturers at large international and specialized exhibitions, and also includes organization of bilateral meetings and trade missions and bilateral meetings with importers. Generally, all our work consists of consulting local businesses in finding potential partners abroad. And we do market analysis and marketing campaigns, and do research foresight at the request of exporters. And next, since I work on Alibaba project myself, I wanted to share a couple of cases related to the theme of today's session. These companies, they all received accounts on the Alibaba platform from Castrate. And the first case is a case of Adili. Adili is the first company that received account on the platform as part of the state support measures. The company is founded by two sisters. They make traditional textile products, and the founders wanted to broaden the application of our traditional ornaments. And they even participated on the Eurasian Fashion Week a couple of years ago. And with support of Castrate, in May this year, the company took part in the exhibition in Dubai, where they were able to sell some of their products and got acquainted with the Middle Eastern market and with potential partners. Next is a green tile company. The green tile company also received account on Alibaba platform from Ministry of Trade and from Castrate. The company is actually a social project, and they are aimed at training and employing socially vulnerable people with disabilities, including mental disabilities, single moms, and young people from orphan houses. The company produces huge variety of products. Artisans are involved in welding, sewing, and felting projects. They make eco bags, accessories, wooden furniture, and interior items, and souvenirs in national style. And on this slide, you can see the construction sets and wooden toys that are made by Green Tile. Very interesting case. Next case is a case of Kobas. Kobas company. The company produces board games. And in my opinion, this is exactly the case when the new ways revive old traditions. The founder of the company took old traditional Kazakh table games and transformed them into modern games that are very popular among Kazakhs, among foreigners, and among tourists in Kazakhstan. And lastly, Empire is a company that produces national souvenirs and traditional amulets. They also received a golden supplier account on Alibaba, and the company's collection reflects the culture and art of Central Asia, and they're also in high demand. So in conclusion, here we highlighted key mistakes of entrepreneurs that we noticed throughout our projects. If you look at this list, you will notice that main problem of young entrepreneurs, and majority of recipients of our measures are young entrepreneurs, small enterprises, and even micro enterprises. The key problem for them is a lack of skills, and at Castrate we work on providing them with skills and with tools to grow their businesses. That's a very big part of our state program and state program principles. So I think that is it from our side. a very short presentation. We are very open for any type of collaboration. Thank you for your attention, and here you can see our contacts if you're interested.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for such an amazing presentation and for highlighting all the main challenges that are, I'm sure, relevant, and we can share that for every single country we are working in Central Asia. I would like to introduce now Takhmina Karimova. She's the founder and the head of the organization in Tajikistan, which is called the social enterprise Ozara. Takhmina, could you please tell us about the National Association of Businesswomen that you are part of in Tajikistan, and how self-organization and creating social enterprises can help empowering women and vulnerable communities?
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, first of all, and it's a pleasure to me to be a part of this webinar today. So, first of all, I would like to show you some data about share of women in the economy of Tajikistan, and you can see that the handicraft sector is one of them. And there was a supporting programs from the government side, such as government of the Republic of Tajikistan has established the Council for Public-Private Partnership and the Center of the Implementation of Projects on Public-Private Partnership. And in 2019, were announced a year of handicraft, and was prolonged till 2021. And during this period, the handicraft development program was developed and run, and artisans were exempted from paying income tax, and funds were created to provide grants to artisans, as well as various festivals, competitions, and events on their behalf. So the National Association of Businesswomen of Tajikistan is a country-level non-profit organization with 300 members, and it was founded in 1995 and registered with the Ministry of Justice of Tajikistan. The mission of NABWT is to promote the participation of women in the economy and entrepreneurship through advocacy, training, consultancy, mentoring, and developing linkages. So for the promoting of women, NABWT initiated the national competition, the Best Women Entrepreneurs of the Farah. Farah is a biannual competition to find the best woman entrepreneur in Tajikistan, and one of the nominations is the handicraft nomination. Also, national competition, the best business plan among young women of Tajikistan. This competition promotes the economic empowerment of young women among 18-65 years by supporting innovative business ideas and promoting micro enterprises created and run by a young woman. And Business Symposium of Women Entrepreneurs of Central Asia and Afghanistan. The task force to coordinate the strategy and implementation of innovatives on women entrepreneurship development. As a result of that business symposium, a task force consisting of state structure, international agencies, business associations, and private sector under the leadership of the State Committee of Investment and State Property were established. And also there were initiated a regional competition among women artisans, Armugon. So the main direction of activity of NABWT is professional trainings, mentorship programs, study tours, recognition of women. So in a professional trainings, over the 5,000 participated, and 39 mentors among the participants of FARA. So it means that the best women entrepreneurs could be a mentor for future entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs. The study tours within Tajikistan, more than 10 study tours with 140 participants, and also were study tours abroad of Tajikistan. So the NABWT is a founder of several organizations, such as micro loan organization Imon International, the Training Center Best Practice on Business and Finance, Junior Achievement, Azara, and Imon Foundation, and also Shelter and Crisis Center Bursor. So all that organization, they are results of the different projects of NABWT. And Ozara also the result of the project that was implemented in 2011. It was Saving Our Heritage, Saving Ourselves project, and in 2014, Ozara was set up by the National Association of Businesswomen of Tajikistan. So the main goal of the creating the Ozara was selling traditional Tajik Sudanese and other handicraft items, and provide women, vulnerable women, which are wife of labor migrants and single mothers, women from rural area with the income generating activity. All the products which is produced by Ozara are all handmade with 100% natural fibers, cotton, silk, wool, and all designs have traditional Tajik motifs in use for centuries. So Ozara also organizes week-long trainings on new techniques in order to ensure products remain of the highest quality. Mandate of Ozara is promotion of Tajik handicraft products in international market, and also increasing of the economic and social status of women artisans in society and promoting of their crafts, improve the conditions of the livelihoods of women artisans. At the moment, more than 50 women working with Ozara, and have an income from their crafts. So also directions of activity of Ozara includes development and implementation of various projects related to artisanal work, training women in vocational courses, strengthening networks through exchange of experience, establishment of business link, implementation of mentoring activities. So, as I already mentioned, the mission of Ozara is assisting with access to new markets via provision of trade missions, developing links to key buyers, creating network contracts, support with administration, logistics, and marketing, and exploring other new markets. Since 2014, Ozara has sold products in the international market through project partners, and since 2019 it has become a supplier of embroidery products from Tajikistan to Ethical Fashion Initiative project. And also, Ozara has started collaboration with Zazi Vintage via Ethical Fashion Initiative project to develop a clothing collection with traditional Tajik handmade embroidery, which is made 100% by women. I should say that Ozara is all the employees of Ozara is 100% women, and we are trying to support mostly women because the woman is more vulnerable, and we are feeling that we need to support them more. So here is the pictures of the collection which we developed with Zazi Vintage. So Ozara conducting the trainings and capacity building for artisans, and from 2014 we set up a network which has operated more than 150 artisans, and we conducted trainings, vocational trainings, and 15 trainings for more than 250 women artisans. So, and more than 20 new designs of products and 3 collections was developed. The production, the product was presented in international exhibitions in Ambiente in Germany, Padarki Moscow, Artigiano in Italy, Extent Spain, and etc. So here is some samples of our products. The idea of creation, establishing Ozara was supporting women from vulnerable areas with the income generating activity, which we are doing at the moment. And I hope that we will do it in the future. Since today we faced, of course, each social enterprise faced challenges, and one of the main challenges for us it is the problem with logistic, because the logistic from Tajikistan is quite expensive, and also Tajikistan is a very close country, and we haven't DHL and TAT, but hopefully from next month the DHL will start working in Tajikistan, and this problem will be solved. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Takhmina. And we would like to show you, yes, a beautiful video from Tajikistan.
Сөзені мануи бо сөзан зада духтани нақшрод. از سرچشمه ها از کتاب های نادر گرفته آموختم که هر یک نقش معناهای خود را داشته است. نور معنای سرحاصلی با برکتی سرفرزندی را دارد. عروس را هم می آورند به ذریعه البته سوزنی خیلی زیبای و پررنگ پرتافته می شد. تاجیک است. از مادران طلب کرده می شد که همین هنرها را به نسل آینده آموزانیم تا اینکه همین عنعنه ها گم شده نروند. من دادوبوی و محرم هنرمند ساحه سوزنی دویدی هستم.
Thank you very much, Takhmina. It's indeed a very beautiful project and a very beautiful artisans and very beautiful crafts that are being developed and supported in Tajikistan. And I'm happy to be to personally know you and to have worked with Ozara. It's been a really beautiful experience. I would like now to introduce Dinara Tuchinbayeva, the Central Asia Craft Support Association's Resource Center in Kyrgyzstan. She's the founder of this association. So, Dinara, could you please tell us about the local creativity, about design capacities in Kyrgyzstan? What is your experience of developing traditional crafts for sustainable development, and especially in remote areas, in remote regions, in communities with the female leadership, with women leadership? Please, Dinara, the floor is yours.
Good day, dear organizers and dear participants of this really amazing meeting, conference. And I'd like to share with you some information about collaboration between creative designers, creators, and artisans, because this role of designers is pretty high, and especially in terms of reaching international market. I'd like to say a few words about my organization. It is it's public foundation, which was established by 11 designers and craftsmen in 2009, registered in 2009, but was started much earlier. And our mission is to first to support in safeguarding of intangible cultural heritage, traditional knowledge, craft knowledge, and to support craftsmen, to train craftsmen, to support craftsmen in reaching market, and transfer knowledge to next generation. So may you please start my presentation. I'd like to say that, thank you. My presentation is called Collaboration of Designers and Craftsmen in Creative Industries based on Intangible Cultural Heritage in Kyrgyzstan. Next, please. Kyrgyzstan is located on Silk Road, and you know these trade centers, bazaars of ancient Silk Road is still alive, especially in the south part of Kyrgyzstan. And it is so interesting that up now these traders of traditional woven carpets are moving from one place to another to sell their products. And every day these markets are open in different locations, in different villages, including and even these borders are not barrier for that market, for that trade, you know. And some of markets are located in Kyrgyzstan, some of them are in Uzbekistan, and some in Tajikistan. And these producers of Kyrgyz traditional carpets are moving from one place to another. Next, please. So in the situation in Kyrgyzstan, what we see, it is living craft traditions and big number of craftsmen, barriers of intangible cultural heritage, and developing small businesses based on traditional crafts, developing internal craft markets, including in the touristic sector, strong and active designers turning to intangible cultural heritage in their creative works, collaboration between designers and craftsmen, different forms of partnership to enter the regional and world market, and social movement and governmental economic policy based on which for further development of country. Next, please. you can see here that in countryside, people still keep very strongly traditions, especially in food, in crafts making, in this traditional craft technologies, and because this touristic business is developing very well, so and it is based on this traditional hospitality and the style of life of nomad people. Next. In terms of role of crafts in touristic business, it is really very high, and except of this production products of craftsmen, it is also very popular some courses of craft traditions, which is also provided by craftsmen to guests. Next, please. To foreign tourists. Next, please. And here you can see that we have in Kyrgyzstan several markets of traditional crafts, which it is a very popular Oymo festival, which was started in 2006, and in 2010 it was started our market of traditional Kyrgyz felt carpets, Shirda. Next, please. No, before. And we have very before, please. Yes, contemporary art and design is also very developed, and we have many young and very talented designers which entered this sphere of design based on traditional crafts. Next. Here you can see some participants of international competition, of national competitions, winner of competition, which later was demonstrated in at international stage. Next. I'd like to introduce you just three, maybe one of the most popular and famous designers in Kyrgyzstan, and based on their samples to demonstrate you these links and partnership between designers and craftsmen. And the first, it is a very interesting story of this family dynasty of craftsmen, 7 sisters. It is creative group which is led by the eldest sister, Farzana Sharshimbieva, who is now collaborate with Donna Karan. It is a very known fashion designer in US, and her products is very popular all over the world. And these sisters are very popular in Kyrgyzstan and in the region, and they are recognized all over the world. Next. They produce some stuff of felt and silk and with traditional patterns, and they use local materials and traditional patterns. Next. Next designer is Cholpona Lamanova. This is also a unique person. She is inspired by traditional patchwork, kurak, and she believes that her mission is to promote kurak all over the world. And she is not producer, but she's a teacher, and she is hired by different local supporting organizations and international agencies to teach craftsmen all over the country and in remote mountainous areas. Next, please. Here you can see some of her product and her students. You know, it is women in Bishkek, in our capital, who started sewing the dress of patchwork, and she was teaching them, and you can see later by what she was inspired. Next, please. And here she is teaching people in countryside how to produce these products of using this patchwork technique adapted to demands of market. Next. Next art designer is Altanaya Usmoyeva. It is young designer. She's multimedia artist, and she's also very interesting artist, and using ICH, Intangible Cultural Heritage elements in her creativity. Next. Here you can see her products which when she works in fashion. Next. She's using also traditional local raw materials as felt and silk. And I would like to say that Kyrgyz designers are very closely working with Uzbek craftsmen, and if they hire Kyrgyz artisans, they buy silk and ikat and cotton fabrics in Uzbekistan. Next. And what kind of ways of collaborations? I wanted to say that designers are teaching craftsmen as trainers for new design for quality, standards for color combination adapted to the market demands. And they are buying from craftsmen the raw materials, because the craftsmen produce that raw materials also, and provide new jobs to craftsmen, hiring them to implement to product exclusive art products. And craftsmen, they teach designers also from their side for traditional craft technologies and intangible cultural heritage issues, values, and producing for designers raw material, handmade textile, as felt layers, cotton and silk fabrics, etc., and are involved into the creative process of designers as team members. Next. And this picture demonstrates the inspiration which designers get from intangible cultural heritage in Central Asia. Next. Just few pictures when you can see this visually, that inspiration, how it works. Next. You can see here women in traditional dress, you see, and that students of Cholpon Alamanova who look a little bit similar. And knowledge transferring, as I already told, that they teach each other. Local raw materials. Next, please. Next, please. And silk and felt. And providing new job to craftsmen and integration into the world market. You can see here that products here produced by craftsmen, and from rural area, but with the influence of designers adapted to international market demands. You can see here the shop of felt carpets in Switzerland and showroom in New York. Next, please. And also one of the very important part of this collaboration between craftsmen and designers is participating in policy making, because our government also started to pay attention to this crafts as a part of economy, part of creative industries. And about 3 years ago, several ministries, it's Ministry of Economy, Ministry of Culture, Kyrgyz Patent, they started working very hard on supporting this craft sector as part of economy, and our parliament received a law on supporting craftsmen, and here you can see that in the down picture photo you can see also collaboration unit of craftsmen of all Central Asia, which you know, because we linked since end of 90s, we linked these contacts within the region, and I believe that movement, very active movement within the region, it is also a result of our previous activity of all craftsmen and designers altogether. Next, please. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Dinara. It's really amazing to see how young talents, designers, local designers that are integrating and incorporating in their works some traditional crafts and also developing them to go and access international markets. Because as we know, the international market might not always accept the traditional designs and patterns. And therefore, we need designers, local designers and international designers to adapt the patterns and to go forward with and introduce the Central Asian crafts and traditions worldwide, and to make it wearable and beautiful and to be proud of it. Thank you very much for this amazing work, and thank you very much for promoting and dedicating your time for this mission. Now I would like to introduce our next speaker. It's Aziz Murtazaev from Uzbekistan. He's the founder of a craft studio, Ikat Uz, the deputy chairman of the Artisan Association of Uzbekistan, which is called Hunarman. We have been collaborating with Aziz for many years now, and I have been in his craft studio before, and I'm really happy to share with you this beautiful work that he's doing.
Thank you, Ayslu. Good day, dear participants of today's great session. I'm very honored to be with you and part of this great event. I would like to present about craftsmanship in Uzbekistan and share my information about my organization. Okay, and telling about the, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, first of all, I would like to tell about the support measures done by the government to support the traditional arts and crafts in Uzbekistan, and say a few words about my organization, about the craft studio. So as it was earlier mentioned, that the Silk Road had a great influence in the culture of Central Asian countries. And part of it was Uzbekistan, which is very rich with the culture. And one of the key parts of the Uzbek culture is crafts and arts. And from the government, it was paid a lot of attention. And it is a key sector of both economic and the social aspect of the country. And from 1997, the craftsmen were exempt from paying profit tax, and this all helped to revive and also to develop the craftsmanship in Uzbekistan. And the main officially registered craftsmen, they are private entrepreneurs, and we are not registered as a big company, but as a private or family business. And we are all officially registered as a private entrepreneurs within the government. And there are 34 sectors 34 directions of crafts in Uzbekistan, as ikat making, jewelry making, ceramics, embroidery, and so on. And all the old historical buildings existing in Uzbekistan, they were given as a workshop or shops for craftsmen to use them. And it was a great help to them to use these places in historical buildings because a lot of tourists who come to Uzbekistan, they mostly go to these historical buildings, and they also buy these products in these places. And all these buildings and all these premises were given to Uzbek craftsmen in a very good leases, like a free lease, and they pay very low prices, and I will tell more about this. So from just to develop the local crafts, it was assisting craftsmen in acquiring lands and facilities. So if any craftsman would like to get a land to build his workshop, so from the government, from the local region, municipalities, they show places where they can build their workshops. And they also help with connecting them to infrastructure and networks. From the banks, they can get soft loans, which is nowadays it's 13% per annum. And also there are measures to support the export of craft products. And they were building a new craft support centers in all regions and cities. I can say that even during the pandemic time from the last year, they were built 15 new craft centers just in one region, in Fergana region. And in totally in Uzbekistan, they will build 34 new craft centers. And these craft centers, where all craftsmen, they can use these places as their workshop and also selling shops. Besides, there are few benefits that craftsmen can use, like no need for custom clearance for export of products below $5,000. So this also helps without any documentation headache to export their products abroad. Also to encourage our craftsmen with export, there are reimbursement up to 50% of the transportation, even the postal expenses on all products which go for export. Also, craftsmen, they are free to dispose foreign currency. This actually was very great help by the government, because for the last, before 2017, this foreign currency was only used to be sold in a currency exchange markets, but nowadays we can freely dispose this currency from our bank accounts. Also, craftsmen can sell their products like in cash, which are not, this kind of benefit is not eligible for other kind of private sector, but for the craftsmen, it is allowed to sell in cash, even for tourists or for the local people. And also we can use like 50% discount on rent at the state properties, as I earlier told about these places in all historical buildings. So we rent them in a very low prices. There are organized many international festivals in Uzbekistan, which gives a good support to sell, to demonstrate, and to promote locally produced craft products. In every region, in every part of Uzbekistan, there are big festivals where craftsmen can sell their products. One of these, they were in 2019, was in Kokan, big international craft festival. In Bukhara, from 2005, was organized Silk and Spices Festival. In Shahrisabz, in Samarkand, and even new types of festivals they're starting organizing, and one of it will be in next year in May, again in Bukhara, which will be on jewelry and gold embroidery. So this kind of festivals is a big platform and good market for not only for the local artisans, but also as a Silk Road. So artisans from neighborhood countries, they also come and participate in these kind of festivals. So, I would like to say a few words about my production. So my craft studio, Ikat Uz, which unites over 50 people, and 30 of them, they are women and 20 men. And we are mostly focused on the production of ikats and natural dyeing. So ikat means as a resist dyeing of the silk threads and producing fabrics, hand-woven fabrics. And it was established in 2016. And before that time, I was working with many different craftsmen in promoting their products abroad. And also from 2016, this craft studio serves as a cooperative for these independent artisans and as a platform to sell their products and also to promote their products in a local and foreign markets. We produce as well as fabrics and also ready garments, and also we produce items, and we collaborate with many different designers from abroad. Like this is my collaboration with the designer and art designer from India, with Asif, and we made collaboration of natural dyed textiles and his collection, and we try to promote sustainable economy and sustainable production of ecologically friendly craft products. And we also, this is part of my product that we produce for our brand customers in foreign markets, and we also closely work with them to make, to produce different types of products, just to make old traditions and alive, so to make them use in a modern way, just to adapt to the foreign markets, foreign customers, so they can also use them in their daily life. And our mission is just to promote our local textiles, our local traditions, try to be in every family around the world. And most of our artisans, they try to participate in many different festivals, and one of the very successful festival and market is International Folk Art Market, which is in Santa Fe in the United States. And even in 2021, despite the pandemic time, our 10 participants from Uzbekistan, they could make sales of $350,000, which shows a great interest to Uzbek craft products in the US market. And we tried to find the right segment of product to sell in the foreign markets. I tried to promote my production, my products in different wholesale markets, like in Dallas gift show, in New York Now, or Atlanta gift shows, which I try to attract new customers, new clients, and find regular buyers to my products. And I can say that it's quite expensive to be in this kind of wholesale markets, but this actually helps me to find new markets and also new to explore wider the market of different countries. I can say here is like my main market is like 55% is the United States, and 25% is Netherlands. We just started even during the pandemic time, and 15% is from the Switzerland, and like 5% like different markets. As you see that 99% of my products I sell only for the foreign markets, not in the local, because I try to produce mostly mostly high-end products, and also to find our traditional Uzbek products to promote and sell in the foreign markets. And we closely collaborate with the different international programs like ITC Ethical Fashion Initiative. Thanks to them, I could find very good customers like Zazi and a few other customers that helped us to continue our work even during the pandemic time. And my regular customers also from the United States, they also during the pandemic time, despite there were no sales even in their market, they tried to support us, and they were giving us orders, putting orders just to make us motivated and inspire us. And during the pandemic time, we started our collaboration also with another ITC project, which is called Ready for Trade Central Asia, which supports for digitalizing the markets of craft market. And we are also helping other craftsmen to sell their products online. And recently we created our platform, which is called Craft Meets Design. This was a startup project, and our project was very recently was supported by the Ministry of Tourism as a startup project, and we won the certificate of $35,000 to promote and market, to continue and to enlarge our projects to other markets as well. And in our goal is after Uzbekistan, we want to get into Vietnam market and also Malaysian markets. This is a kind of platform which only will serve as a platform for artisans, where they can put their products not just for selling, but also telling about their products. We will be closely working with the museums and art galleries to attract more their attention to Central Asian and Asian markets. We would like to make offline and online auctions and sell high-end products by the artisans. And this would be also as a mapping platform. Once tourists come into Central Asia and Uzbekistan, they could easily, using this platform, they can find in which area they can find different types of crafts. I know that this is a good webinar just to find solutions and exchange our information and ideas, how we can all traditions make it in a modern way. So my vision is I do my craft as a business. So not just producing and reviving the cultural heritage, but also I try to make a good marketing of my products to find new markets for it. But also I need to find solutions for the logistics. So this is a good way that in Uzbekistan we have a very different kind of not only courier agencies, but also cargo services that so we have different options, and so we can provide for our customers different types of logistics where they can choose which would be the best for them to make an inexpensive way to deliver the products. And also it's very important to find the solutions how we can get our money from our customers, because as far as we don't have registered PayPal account service in Uzbekistan, it's also a very big challenge for as well as for the buyers and also for the sellers, because not everyone wants to send their money by money transfers like Western Union or other money transfers, but they prefer many more like reliable payment systems. And that's why we try to give them also different kind of options, which make easier to understand the ways of payment. And also to revive and also to develop the crafts, we need to make investment not only in an economic way, but also in an educational way. So we need to try to educate, to improve our knowledge, the knowledge of our teammates, our women, and we always try to train them. We always make investment in their getting in their new knowledge, like for example, in a sewing ways, or in pattern making, or also producing new types of products, as well as to improve their knowledge in digitalization, like how they need to take the photos of the products, or how to use the online platforms. As well as also we need to invest in producing new types of products, which will also give a good option for our customers, because customers, they always ask new types of products from us, not always producing the same thing for many years. So this type of approach for crafts as a business will help to improve and to develop it for many years. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Aziz. That was really amazing. We would like to show you a little video of the work we are doing in Uzbekistan that is going to demonstrate the workshop of Aziz and the way the artisans are being involved in the sustainable value chain.
Mahalliy tilda abirband deb ataymiz. Bu bulutni bog'lash degan ma'noni bildiradi. Ikat abirli matolar tayyorlash 37 ta jarayondan iborat. Kalaba holat olganimizdan keyin davrakashga, davrakashdan qapchiga, qatdan keyin chizuvga va manga, ya'ni bo'yoq jarayoniga. Tabiiy bo'yoqlarda bo'yaladi asosiy jarayon. Bunda biz o'simlik yog'idan foydalangan holatda bo'yab chiqamiz. Keyin gula, ya'ni gulada shu tug'uga tayyorlash holat va bunda albatta matoning go'zal chiqishi mana shu insonlarning qo'lida mehr bilan tayyorlanganiga bog'liq. Men ismim Azizbek, men ikat dizayneri hamda tabiiy bog'lar ustasiman.
Great, thank you so much. I'm very happy that all of our speakers, they touched really important topics of the way we can promote crafts, Central Asian crafts worldwide. I'm happy that we spoke about the sustainability, not only from the production point of view, but also from the business and economic point of view, because that's the way we can make it, the entire supply chain, sustainable. Also, we can see from our experience that the fashion industry is going towards sustainability and towards human-centered production and towards stories behind the product. And the way we can promote, more we can speak, more we can share about artisans, about the way they're producing their products, about the way the whole process is organized, more the customers will be happy to buy, contribute, and be part of this beautiful history and the heritage. I thank all the participants, all the organizers for this amazing event, and really looking forward to knowing more and hearing more about Central Asian crafts and stories in the future. Thank you very much for joining us, and please share this conference, share the YouTube video with your friends and with your with people that might be interested in this conference and might learn a little bit more about Central Asian crafts for their personal use or professional use. Thank you very much, and see you soon.